Now, I mean, in sports betting, you usually are getting what, like 15 times your money or something like that. Give or take 30 times if it's a really
on
crazy
parlays. Yeah.
Like
once in a blue moon, 100.
Yeah. Well, what's the craziest parlay you've hit in sports?
I've hit a lot, believe it or not, of 7 for 7s and 8 for 8s in the UFC, betting on UFC fights.
Damn.
A lot.
Do you feel like because like you can do more research into fighters that you have more of a chance to hit them?
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I try to hit them in baseball. I'm a big baseball fan.
Yeah.
I think the biggest parlay I've hit in baseball is maybe 5-teamer. I don't think I've hit a 6-teamer.
Can you explain what a parlay is for people?
So that's betting. Let's say you bet on 5 games. All 5 you have to win to get paid. And then some online sports betting sites will let you cash out halfway through. So if you're 3 for 3 or 4 for 4, now they'll tell you here's the value if you want to cash out now, and so you could still win, but and get out. So you can do that. You really shouldn't. Any of the pro sports bettors, they'll tell you don't bet parlays because it's just bet the game straight. It's hard enough to win, because those guys like a Bill Krakenberger. Have you met Bill?
No, I haven't.
He's been over here. Oh, you should have him on. He would probably be an interesting guest.
Yeah,
I'll hook it up. Bill's been around forever. He was on if you remember, on Showtime, there was this documentary series called Action.
Okay.
About sports bettors. Vegas Dave was on it, and then Bill Krakenberger, and then there was one other person. I can't remember the guy's name.
I started getting a lot of like these kind of like degenerate gambling guys.
Yeah. And so they'll all tell you like don't bet parlays. Like if you are, risk very little, but like I'll swing for the fences.
So let me explain a little bit on this as well and stuff, because like I've got guys in the chat saying like he's like I get those kind of numbers betting sports, right? But here's the thing: is that you're not, well, maybe some of you guys are, but you're not betting your entire life savings. Right. So most people, there's degenerate sports gamblers. Not everybody, but some of them, they're just betting whatever they have in their paycheck at most.
100%.
That's it. Where a lot of these guys don't have the savings to do so. So it isn't like I'm telling you to to put it in perspective. Imagine that you have a fucking 401k you've been saving for the last 20 years, and now you're putting some significant bets on the 401k retirement money on something.
Right.
There's a difference. If you get it, imagine this: your life savings, right? Let's just say you've been saving $50,000 to get a house, and that 10x's. Do you know how life changing that is? You have half a fucking $1 million.
Right.
Now imagine, and this is the whole thing with the parlays. Like I was talking to Gary, the numbers guy. He bets everything in sports, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he does UFC, but I think he does everything else, especially like NFL and basketball and stuff like that. But he's betting pretty nice chunks of money, but he's getting these huge payouts. Maybe he put $800 down on a parlay, and then he can hit it for like $35,000.
Right.
And he hit it too. I literally took him to a sports book. I saw him just depositing hundreds into the machine, getting these tickets, and then over the next, over that next week and stuff, he hit all these fucking parlays.
My dentist today, literally today.
This is so Vegas.
My dentist, literally Vegas. Today, Dr. Kim. Shout out to Dr. Kim and Hollywood Smile. Literally today.
Yeah.
Just hit this parlay.
I'm gonna be disgusted. Please tell me. I'm a sports bet.
Can you see what it'll scroll to the very end? He bet $1,000, 64 grand. Like 8 for 8 or something crazy, whatever. It was 6 for 6. I don't know what he won.
My last parlay was a meme coin called Pepe.
Yeah.
I hit that for like, what? I guess total now, since I don't have any more Pepe right now, it was 100. Initially, I sold about, I'd say like 60% of the position.
Right.
It was 140,000.
Wow.
On like $6,000.
Wow.
And then, it's not too shabby. Well, it was a little more than, it was like $8,000 or so, but still like bam. And then as it was going lower, I started selling more of it and stuff. So it's probably like a little, maybe 1.8. I pulled another $40,000 out of it or something.
Yeah. So
that one did really good. But those are there's a difference between straight So it's this weird. It was a weird, like, I'm not saying there's like this gray zone, right, between you're just straight like please God versus like you got an edge. A house edge, and in investing, right, and in crypto and stuff, like you can be in these communities, you can research. Where like, all right, I know this thing's gonna pump at some point. It's just when,
right?
Versus, come on, Yankees,
right. Yeah.
Come on.
And at least with crypto, you're taking a ride, right? It's going up, it's going down. You can at least ride it out. With the sports betting, if you lose that game, it's over.
It's gone, and that is a really important fact. Now there is some cryptos that go straight to zero, but most of them you could see it a mile away. Right. If you invest into Squid Games, insta zero, right? You know the Squid Games?
Yeah, sure.
So some guy made a Squid Games token. It had something in the contract where basically they couldn't sell the token. He sold it off and just went straight to zero.
Wow.
Stole all the money, right? But there's tokens where like Luna as an example, right? We knew it had a death spiral thing. So it's something where basically, as the price goes down, it tries to print more coins to kind of bring its stable coin back up to peg.
Yeah.
But what ends up happening is that if people start believing and they start selling both the tokens off, it keeps printing coins until eventually, the token just went to. It did a 90 on a 9. So imagine you lose 90% of your money, and then you lost another 90% on your money, and then another 90% on your money. Because you can infinitely, like, just like when you sell, like, if I have $100, I can sell 10% forever, essentially.
Yeah.
Because like the first time, okay, I'll sell $10. Oh, now I'll sell $9. Now it'll be like 7 and some change, and then it'll be 5 and some.
Right,
Because you can infinitely keep selling 10%.
Right.
So it can infinitely, like, boom. This little move might be, it was only 0.5%, but it was like, no, you lost another 50% on that. Where you were.
Right.
Yeah, so you can keep losing. But
what's the most you've lost in a dip? Oh God, that already hurts. Don't even answer. Never mind. It already hurts.
It was mid 7 figures.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How do you come back from that? Like, how do you emotionally handle that?
I'm a crypto YouTuber now. No. I mean, it was just kind of like it all.
Dude, that's a lot of money.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Shit,
money.
I just fucked this all up for you. I'm sorry.
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, but it happens. Like, but big ups comes big, because I've had days where I got into 8 figures
On the upswing.
on the upswings.
Wow.
8 figures.
What is that like?
Fucking awesome. Fantastic, you guys.
And you don't ever at any point go, fuck it, let's just cash it all out?
Well, I did cash out some, but not. But here's the thing: is like here's the thing. Now it can keep going higher. So now this is where, like, between knowing the market versus gambling versus it's all this mixture. Like, we're basically trying to get house edges, and then us being so much in the space, we can kind of like, okay, we're trying to aim it out here, right? We're willing to sacrifice profits in order to try to see if we can get more gains, and if it's coming down, then we start taking profits. So we're like, it's this whole thing we teach our students, right? We're like, okay, we've done this many X's. Let me get all the money I put into crypto out of it and some multiples. So that's what I did. I calculated all the money I ever dollar cost average into crypto. I saw how many I did a bunch of multiples on that, took it out. Cool.
Okay.
That means I'm not a loser. And no matter what, I've won.
Right.
I won. Now with the leftover, okay, let's just see what we can try to turn this into.
Yep.
And then I just
diversify all that.
And try to diversify. The thing
Right.
is, like, I'm diverse. I'm so, depending on the person, right? Like, I'm diversified in crypto terms, but if you talk to a person that, like, manages a lot of money, they're going to be saying, well, no, you're all in one sector.
Right.
So there's still a concentration to my diversification. I'm all in crypto.
So that was the next question I was going to ask you, which was, would you even fuck with any stocks? Like, are there any stocks?
Not really.
No.
Well, okay. Yes. Okay. I'm not going to say no. So there's like a couple things I thought in my head at one point. Because, when I did that big ass upswing, I thought about a couple, because you get these ideas and stuff, right?
Right.
Well, obviously I thought about, here's the thing. There's mining stocks. There's Bitcoin mining stocks, which are like the main ones, or maybe like something like MicroStrategy. So that's a stock that you can buy when crypto is really cheap right now. Like BlackRock, one of the biggest investors, like State Street, or I don't know what's called Vanguard. They're all actively buying into these Bitcoin mining companies. BlackRock owns like 8%, 6%, 2% of like all these major companies. Just billions of dollars of corporations. They're trying to own basically like 10% of all these companies, because now they own 10% of their Bitcoin holdings. Mm-hmm. As that. So that's what's going on, is that the reason they're doing that is because then BlackRock, if they launch an ETF, that's the big news that's happening in the market, is if they launch this Bitcoin ETF and they have all this in, they can like put some pressure on their boards to like be the direct sellers of that cheap Bitcoin to the ETFs, to have a more steady supply, just in case they can't get a cheap supply on the exchanges. And then on top of that, because if they're in the pocket of BlackRock, then BlackRock can send them, hey, go here, and then you can get very, very competitively cheap loans compared to your compatriots.
Oh, really?
And then you can get much cheaper electricity costs